Hi everyone, so I just wanted to show you a quick video today demonstrating how you can use InkScape to join letters in cursive words. So I've seen a lot of people suggest that you modify the letter spacing, but I found that in Design Space it still just doesn't look right like the font is meant to look. So I'm going to give you an example here. First of all, I've got Design Space open. At the moment I've just chosen one of my system fonts, Arial. I have not modified the design spacing at all. So I'll change to a cursive font, and I have one called I Love Glitter. Now you can see as soon as I change to the cursive font, none of the letters are joined together like they should be. So most people will come up to the letter spacing and modify the letter spacing until it joins, but when I've done that, I haven't been happy with the results. So I'll show you another alternative. I actually use a program called InkScape that is free. So this is InkScape here. It can be a little tricky to get used to when you're getting started, but I'll show you exactly what you need to do for this specific scenario. So again, I've just got some words here. They're currently in sans serif font. If I select my font, so this button up here is the one with the picture of the mouse icon, the arrow, is how you select an object in Inkscape. And if I just double click on it, I get the option to edit the text. And if I just select all of the text, sorry, I normally do Control A to select all the text. Now I can then change fonts here. I can select my font, or I'm just going to type in the same font that I was using in the Design Space, and I'll just make it a bit bigger as well. So you can see here that it has joined the letters together perfectly, and there's no issues with how it's joined them together. This is exactly the way I want it to look. So what you could do is, if you were making, I don't know, a cake topper, labels, or whatever it was that you wanted some cursive text up, you can make it in Inkscape and import it across. Now there is one more trick that you need to do to import it across. In order to import it across, Cricut Design Space won't support texts as this is, so you actually need to convert it, so it will no longer be text anymore. It's going to be what's called a path. So I have selected my little mouse icon over here, and you can either click on the text like this, or you can drag a box around what you want to select on the screen, and then you come up to the path menu and you choose object to path. So this is turning our text object to a path. So it doesn't look like it's done anything, but it has actually. If I make sure I've got my little mouse selected here, and if I double click on one of these letters, you'll see that it will convert to something that shows us all of these little squares. These little squares are called nodes, and you could actually modify the path with this. So if I zoomed in, I can show you, if you want to get to the point where you're playing around with the SVGs a bit more, you can actually drag this out to actually modify the path. However, I'll just undo that because that's not what we're interested in today. But Inkscape can do some really cool things if you want to get into it. So we're now ready to save this as an SVG and pull it into Cricut Design Space. So I'll just go and save it, and I'll just call it words. And I saved it as an SVG, so now I'll just go into Cricut Design Space and I'll upload the image. And there it is. Oh, see, this is the error message you get when you have text, and I think I accidentally put another text box in there that doesn't have anything on it. So I'll just click continue, and there we go. It's giving me my my image anyway. So the reason that happened was somewhere hidden away over here there's an empty text box. But yeah, as long as you've done that converting the object to path, you're going to get your text in here without any issues. So I can now insert this onto my page. And it's an SVG, so I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller. And what I tend to do is I tend to make it bigger in Inkscape than I need, and you can see that it's joined it all perfectly. So normally I'll do all of my work in Inkscape, and then I'll go and import it into Cricut Design Space if I'm dealing with text. I hope that helps.